100%. So do you believe that Diddy's ring was involved in kidnapping migrant children?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Drugs, guns, bodies.
All of the above. Organ
That's
harvesting?
what transfers through. You know, I find it interesting. There was a white guy, he was reporting on the movements of Jay-Z's plane a year and a half ago. He reached out to me and I started noticing that some of the things that he was seeing were lining up with some of the things that I was seeing.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't heard about him in a while. I hope he's still alive.
You mentioned
But what he did find was Jay-Z's plane parked at an airstrip 5.5 miles outside of one of the biggest drug kingpins in Sinaloa.
Interesting.
And allegedly, Desiree Perez was on the flight.
Interesting.
Plane came empty. It left with passengers.
So do you think that Jay-Z was using his plane to traffic humans?
Oh, absolutely. That's Desiree Perez's specialty. That's why she's been able to be such a wonderful asset for the government for all of these years.
Wow.
Golf parties. There's a lot that happens. There's life-size wheels that people attach children to and spin it and decide who's having in what way. There are so many things. There's body cakes. There's party favors. And I'm talking like, you know how you put up a little birthday bag? Like when you go to a birthday party and before you can leave, you can take one of those little birthday bags off the table. And then there's toys and like all this stuff for coming to the party. Yeah. Instead of that, there's children. They call them party favors. How do you think the kids are doing? You hear the adults saying that they were on liquid IVs after the parties. You hear how many toys they pulled out of his house? I told y'all how many times that the Playboy is connected to houses. The tunnels connect to homes that connect to really big places, especially the Playboy. A lot of you guys are starting to hear that now.
I guess sometimes people forget you started very young.
I started at 15,
I mean,
for real, real age.
It show. And that's
the real age.
It show. Yeah. I mean, they say we keeping it real. We talking real talk.
Right. No, for real. Like Jay could tell you, I would go from the studio and he'll have to pick me up from school and take me to the studio.
He gave her the herpes that she gave to Chris Brown. People wouldn't pay attention to the fact that she was fucking Jay-Z.
Being persistent, I was like, you know what, bring her by. Massive because of rules when I first heard the song, and then he kept going. Jay Brown, he kept being persistent. I was like, you know what, bring her by. And when she walked into our office, I was like, she just had, it was just something about her. It was just, she had this, it was just something about it. And then she performed the song, and I was like, okay. Then we sat down and we talked. And they were talking about how she would stay in the studio and try to get the verse over, and then come back the next day. I was like, oh, work ethic, everything is there. So we signed it that night. We didn't let her leave the office.
Really?
The 3 a.m. was when that contract got signed. So from the meeting around 3, 4 in the afternoon, we signed it by 3 a.m.
Artist. And there was this little pause, and I was nervous. But then he said, and we're interested. And there was this sudden feel of relief.
But then he said something about a window and a door or something.
Oh, then he said, he did it homework.
I did a lot of homework on you, this lady.
He said, there are 2 ways to leave here, either through the door with the deal signed or through this window.
When that took place at the summit, he went to New York. He came back, and I remember we was chilling one night. We was going to a function, and then he brought up the subject about Jay-Z. He started talking about Jay-Z. He talked about Dame, how solid Dame was. Dame was a good businessman, and Dame on his shit. But he was concerned about the nigga Jay-Z. He's a faggot. He's a bitch. He's a faggot. That's all he kept saying. Like Jay-Z, he was talking about Jay-Z. Come to find out, you know, Jay-Z, Jigga was supposed to have been the one who blew the whistle on the whole ordeal. On the whole ordeal, the fact that they was having these underground secretive meetings.
Hold on. So basically what you trying to say that...
I ain't trying to say a motherfucking thing. I just said it, ninja. Fuck you mean what I'm trying to say? What's wrong with you goddamn interviewees? Nigga, I ain't trying to say shit. I said Jigga blew the whistle.
He snitched.
He told him, we would have told them people, man, and all hell broke loose. And then from that point on, all 5 of them companies went down. 2 of them, the feds fell in and kicked in on them, which was Rap-A-Lot and Murder Inc. and Simon. They sent Simon ass back to jail on a violation. You feel me? Hit him with 2 violations.
But yo, you got to question Quincy Jones about that. Quincy Jones set up those sex rings, and Quincy Jones had called Tupac in to go through the homosexual ritual, and when he turned him down, when he turned Quincy Jones down, and Quincy Jones found out that he was engaged to Quincy Jones's daughter, that's when Tupac was marked for death. Quincy Jones's daughter was best friends with Aaliyah. Aaliyah was mocked. Aaliyah connected to Dame Dash. Dame Dash was mocked.
From Dame.
It's all connected, man.
To start that,
Michael Jackson was mocked. It's all connected. It's all connected, man. Read the Tavistock Institute. Every lecture I show this book. These are written by white boys long before us. This was going on. They came to America as operatives, coming among us. Remember back in the day, this book talks about the nefarious niggerization of hip-hop, the first millennium edition of the American Directory of Certified Uncle Toms. It talked about how these young white boys started establishing all these record companies, these subsidiaries, because their parents owned the majors. They got distribution, so they could sign the brothers to these subsidiary labels. Are you following me? Mm-hmm. They were the ones that said that they were going to make you calling yourself a nigga very popular. It talks about that on page 236, I believe. And I tell people all the time, I said, listen, this ain't Professor Griff. It says, with their cash and a superior industry position, these white entrepreneurs installed a new leadership over hip-hop, and they began to promote a nefarious niggerization of rap music. It says KRS-One and Public Enemy, with the message that KRS-One and Public Enemy, they said we were reaching the masses of young black people. And then NWA niggas with attitudes would be paid off and put in a position where they would neutralize Public Enemy and brothers like KRS-One. And then came the gangster rap, thugging, balling, now pimping. Now the metrosexual is about to take over hip-hop. And your children, your nephew, your niece, and all the little ones, the shorties now, Tay-Tay, Riri, Man, and Twan and them, in the hood, gonna be wearing fucking skirts. Watch. Man purses and this kind of shit. Seriously.
Alrighty. Just now getting started. How we doing, family? Celestial Rising, Divine Denoon, and Grand Night to the beautiful deity watching this video. It's a divine reflection, divine messenger, and we are back with another message. And understand, honestly, just going to just start this because the thing is as well, you know, for the people who are Jay-Z shadow riders and all that, you know, I know you love to shadow his nuts or gargle his nuts till the sun rises until the sun sets. So I understand that. Now the thing is, so we gotta understand that I am not here to make fun of anybody's, you know, beliefs in what they want to worship or follow or idolize. For one, it's this idolization of Lucifer. And on top of that, I am not here to be proven right or proven. What the hell is that? I'm not here to be proven right or wrong. Therefore, I'm providing information on what this character is, because this information is not necessarily important, but it's important to transition into the 4 to 5D dimension mentally. Because once we get past the rabbit hole, just celebrities in general, because I just feel like as well, as far with 666, and the thing is too, we're going to talk about all of that in this document as well. We got many different things going on. I was looking like, what? But yeah, we have many different things going on so far for this documentary. And the thing is too, all we're doing is just tying into going into a higher realm, because the realm that people need to understand to walk into is the simple fact that what you think you're living in is once again not what you're living in. That's exactly why I had that picture with the face and then the light going through it. Because out of all of this, we gotta understand, so where that picture at? With all this that's about to be told for today, this picture right here, we gotta understand that no matter what can you see with your eye that sees all eyes? That's the beginning question and the ending question. What can you see with your eyes that your eyes have already seen through all other seeing eyes? What are you seeing in your life from the all-seeing eyes perspective of life? And how can you see that? That's exactly why you had to take everything with a grain of salt and do your own research. And even when you do your own research, you're still going to be researching false information. That's why I'm neither right nor wrong. Because no matter what, I can provide 5 hours of this teaching on a character who does not exist, but a skinwalker who was meant to plague not even just our community, but communities in general. Because this deity is not doing it for anybody else but itself through us. Meaning that it has to harvest our mindset by going into the all-seeing eye society, which is the image that or symbolism that he will do behind closed doors, even in your face, let you know the allegiance that he has pledged to. And the thing is too, this is not a real being anyways, because you cannot get to becoming a billionaire just off of being a good person. No, you have to do many different things and a lot of different habits and just tendencies consistently to get you to the top of the pyramid. And then that's exactly why too, because we're going to mention deities as far as like Vril and reptilians and all that stuff like that, but we gotta understand too, many people are not real people but projections. So many of these celebrities, like even starting with right here, so we got this symbolism of frazzle drip, I think that's what it's called, but basically a child's face being ripped off and then they're wearing it high and mighty or proud and putting it on other children as well, to the point to where if this child does survive, they're going to always remember their faces. And that's the face that they make whenever the child becomes, if they become conscious. Because I mean, imagine getting your face ripped off, but yet you still have your consciousness subconsciously and you're just in pain. I mean, we don't know what happens to these kids afterwards, but they're basically telling you like, yeah, we ripped the child's face off and we're going to put it to the public because we just consider this as art. And then people get an award for stuff like this and they get praised for it. That's exactly why, like, whenever if you listen to music and if you watch stuff like watch award shows, watch the crowd, watch the people on stage, this is basically like just a Shakespearean play for Nephilim. That's exactly why with Gematria, his thing will correlate to Nephilim, but we're not gonna get into that just yet. But that's exactly why these fallen angels, or these angels of the Son of God, if you want to call it that, or the Watchers, these people are meant to watch society as observers. So just correlating it with my experience, I put all those videos in the beginning because I was able to observe not only just the spiritual highway of the internet, I was able to observe things that I intuitively felt as if don't have to be deeply explained, but they can be explained deep enough to the point where no matter what, because I already said it before earlier this year, Jay-Z gonna be next, and either way it goes too, Kanye gonna be next, LeBron gonna, because LeBron just stepped down too, and like I stated earlier, the whole celebrity talk is not important, but it's important to be talked about because once we knock down idol worshiping, we are able to transition into a higher realm of mental capacity, meaning that we'll be able to now understand what we have always been living in. And then once you knock down Lucifer and enlightenment of celebrity worship, you are now able to now understand that you were always the celebrity worshiping yourself through them. But then you understand what you are pledging your mindset into, because how are you gonna get a statement to come out as soon as you are getting talked about as far as being with a 13-year-old girl or a little boy? As soon as that allegation came out, his team sent out that letter instantly to the masses because that nigga knew. His whole team knew what he was doing. And thing is too, somebody be like, whoa, if they knew for so long, why is this just now coming to the forefront? Because for one, when you're doing evil for so long, it's only a matter of time before your time limit runs out, before you come into the forefront of who you are. That's exactly why this picture is in existence, because even with duplication, like as far as when you're cloning and when you're transferring consciousness, you gotta understand too, they're able to duplicate characters that they know have higher ranks and higher orders. So he's basically a warlock, and that's why I got this whole teaching right here too, as far as like just different beings that are able to manipulate just not only music but the mind as well. That's exactly why they will call him a genius. And on top of that too, even in inside excuse me even with inside job, and balance yourself out, even with inside job, they're even telling you a projection of what he follows, even his wife as well, because they're both alchemists, they're both sorcerers, they're both magicians, witches and warlocks. And the thing is too, they will get his DNA and replicate his consciousness again, because they understood that when they're marking all these beasts in 666 for the 6 protons, electrons, and neutrons, humanity will be stuck at that lower nature of what they are building themselves into being. And so there are different beings who know where they come from, because their bloodline comes from reptilian DNA, or just, I say just a bloodline in general. I don't have to go deep into that. It's just basically a whole bloodline of these reptilian brains, or these mind controlling altered frequencies of angelic beings. Basically, that's what I would call them. I'll call them just angelic beings, because physically they're all demonic programs. That's exactly why that letter that we're going to see later on too is a description of what he's following, because he's, if you're in the music industry, you are a Satanist openly, or you're atheist, or you're agnostic, or you don't believe in God, or you believe that you are God. That's all there is. You will either believe in a higher power, or you believe that you are that higher power. So when he's calling himself Holy, he's calling him that calling himself that for a reason. When he's throwing up that symbolism with his hands, he's letting you know who he's pledging to, and that's why it's called Rock Nation Rockefeller, because obviously he's letting you know that Rockefeller funds their baby boy, obviously, and those are his baby daddies and baby mamas and all that stuff, because these elitists and these industry moguls, they are able to mold their prophecy basically. And he was a mogul for the rap industry. That's exactly why people are vouching, and they're going to get mad because their favorite celebrity is getting exposed. It's like, you can see him collabing with Diddy and R. Kelly, and the people in our community still refuse to understand that he's a part of their same exact brotherhood. He does the exact same thing, but no, it can't be Jay-Z. He would never do that. You know that these people are openly pedophiles and predators and leeches just like you. They're not from this dimension anyways. So you're jumping timelines and dimensions. You know about this stuff. You don't talk about it, but you do it in your raps. And then on top of that, people still don't seem to understand how deep the symbolism goes, because they're not seeing the rich mindset of like beings who want to be rich but who are openly broke. They have no money towards themselves, so they're scrambling, they're funneling for money. That's exactly why whenever one of these beings gets exposed for that, they had to get knocked off the simulation. They had to get put into the forefront as a sacrificial lamb for these higher ups, because these higher ups are telling you that they are pretending to be these people that we are idolizing. Well, not us, but some people. And so I was reading this before I started the video. I was just reading this, and I was just like, this nigga literally made a song about enlightenment. Truly, I can't make it up. And he was like, so Lord forgive him, he got them dark forces in him. Now whoever's, because I haven't heard this song in a minute either, but either way it goes, whoever, the thing is, even when they're rapping as well, when a sorcerer or a warlock is rapping, a witch, doesn't matter, it's either one or two things. You travel a dimension to get your rhymes so you can bring them right back down here in your mindset, so you're on a higher substance, or you have a ghostwriter and you're handled a rap to rap about, so that it sounds good for one to the people who are actually entertained by it, because it's not just the masses that these beings care about, because they don't actually care about how you feel about the music. Is the music accepted into our society? So like these higher ups are hearing his music, because he has to present it and give like a demonstration to the people to release it out to the masses to see if they'll make money from this music. So when this artist, so when Jay-Z is out here rapping, telling these certain rhymes or whatever the case may be, who is he talking to? People don't understand that. People just sit there and they listen, they rap the spell casting, but who is the spell caster casting the spell to? Because would you really rap your lyrics, or would you just mouth them? Would you Or are you actually, because why are you mouthing your lyrics? Why aren't you actually saying them? Because you know damn well that when you were cloned to say that, is the actual being up there on the stage rapping the lyrics, or is it just nothing but a artificial hologram of what you think is actually real? So he got them dark forces in him, but he also got a righteous cause for sinning. And he's talking in a contradiction the whole entire song. So, because there was one line too that really, like, when I read that, I was just like, okay, boom. Man, I gotta get my soul right. So he even admitting it, I need to get my soul right. But how you gonna get your soul right when you went left with that decision making that you made? All them sacrifices you made, all the rituals you did, all the trafficking you did. That's why he's saying, he's literally sitting, when he was in the booth, he's sitting back pondering like, man, I gotta get my soul right. Cause he know all the things that he, and so it's gonna be like, here we go to conspiracy theories. There is no such thing as a theory to a conspiracized mindset that has been in your face the whole entire time. People who say conspiracy theories to the truth, they are not able to comprehend it because the eyes are able to comprehend what the mind is ready to see. Once the mind is ready to see what you are able to perceive visually, then the mind will start aligning yourself with the truth that you have never been seen before till right now. I gotta get these devils out of my life. You've been telling yourself that for so many years, but yet you are the devil getting yourself out of this lifestyle, and you are never going to get out of this lifestyle. That's why it's a hard knock life for us. God, hard knock life for us. These cowards gonna make the nigga ride. They won't be happy till somebody die. Oh man, I gotta get my soul right. I'm locked up for my whole life. That's why even with the vril, so with these, the type 1 reptilian, or just the parasitic version of their physical vessel, when they are able to go into the eye, not even just the eye, but when they're able to even climb through your ears, your bloodstream, your intestines, your liver, your organs, all of that, depending on what you eat too, especially if your meat is not cooked. So if you're eating uncooked meat, what does that make you? Anyways, so as they're traveling through the bloodstream, they are now able to, they kill the consciousness, because for some, either it's in our cerebrum, it's somewhere in our mind, because you obviously have the reptilian mindset, but what you had 3 levels of your mindset. So when these deities, when they knock your consciousness subconsciously down inside the subconscious mindset, now the subconscious mind, basically your solar energy, is being lured down to a lower abyss. But now the lower abyss of your solar energy is not strong enough to build itself back up, because for one, mentally, spiritually, if you're not in tune with yourself, then this real-like energy is going to strengthen its mindset up to dominate you subconsciously. On top of that too, we gotta understand too, these are not real people. So for one, if they have a vessel that's being replicated and cloned into this artificial laboratory that we're unable to see behind closed doors, for one, it doesn't already have a consciousness to begin with. So because of that, this real-like substance is going to place itself into the eye or the bloodstream or the ears or the nose, wherever the case may be. It's not awake yet, but it's like attentive to what's going on. It's already aware. Because of that too, oh yeah, let me go and slow down, because I know that somebody also wanted me to get a mic. I forgot my mic too upstairs, but I was just so ready to post this video because it's early, so I need to get this video out today. But let me slow myself down, my bad, y'all. This junk is crazy. So now this replicated cloning vessel, or this clone vessel, this meat walker, this meat suit, is now understanding that it doesn't have a consciousness, but the vril is going to place itself in its own consciousness through the meat walker or the skin suit. And then once that happens, now this reptilian-like energetic frequency, or this lower nature of an angelic program, is going to basically be AI in its symbolism. So it's like a symbiotic relationship, like with Venom and Eddie Brock. So Venom would be the symbiote to Jay-Z. So Jay-Z calls himself Hova, but that's not his real name. Jay-Z also is not Jay-Z's real name either. So Shawn Carter, whoever the fuck is behind like that character, developed its mindset into Jay-Z. And so he harvested a character that's not him, and then he took that lifestyle, lied about it, and then put it in a rap, and then he rapped about it to avoid karma, and then this karma brought him into Luciferian enlightenment to the point to where he had to give nothing but praise to being so deep down with the foundation that he was brought up in, because he was manufactured by his mom and his dad, that which is Lucifer and Satan. So Lucifer gained the opportunity to rap anything that he wants, because he's basically owners of like majority of Luciferian structures and different texts. There's like many different. He's a mogul in history. Like he's a celebrity for a reason, because who do you think gave him that allowance at a young age? He's stealing lifestyles, and the beings that stole his lifestyle are going to applaud him for it because nobody could see right through it. Somebody want their soul to rise. Let me get serious for y'all. So he's locked up for his whole life. So meaning that the real Jay-Z is not even present anymore. He's been knocked out of the simulation. Now you have a deity who's pretending to be Jay-Z, observing Jay-Z's lifestyle. And that's not even Jay-Z. So Shawn Carter is behind its own eyes with a chip inside of itself. And if Jay-Z was to speak out on what's really going on through his symbolism, that's when people start understanding that he has been lying to the masses for the whole entire time. And then that's when the rabbit hole gets even deeper. That's exactly why in his symbolism, that's why rapping and music, art, those three things, or even acting, those things are the greatest ways to tell the truth while lying, because you're able to put out a play or just spells through words or whatever. You're able to put those things out there into the masses, to the forefront, and people can't say that you lied about it because you told them, but now they chose to not listen. It's falling on deaf ears. So you telling people the truth about how deceitful and how sinister you are, but if they too deaf to hear the truth, that's not your fault no more. That's how he thinks. And he knows what he's doing. I got dreams of holding a 9mm to Bob's killer, asking him why my eyes fill up. Oh yeah, hold on, something about too, a pillow. Let me see here. Where did he say that at too? The more you talk, the more you irking us, the more you're gonna need memorial services to Black Album taking verses like Devil's Pot, save some dessert for us. So even this satanic enlightenment, they want to eat at that table, save some for us. Literally, like that shit, it's just very sad. Where is it? Because there was a verse in here too. He was talking about some with his pillow, and like how the pillow was, I don't think it wasn't dry anymore because he done cried so much. I don't even got time to even look for that anymore, but it is what it is. But that song was just really interesting to me. Alright, so yeah, with that, ripping off kids' faces and stuff like that, and then they're wearing it on different, even with the thing with LeBron too. Also, LeBron will be getting exposed. Diddy's already getting exposed right now. Usher, Justin Timberlake, Drake, Rihanna, Beyonce definitely get exposed for that. Once Beyonce gets exposed, then the truth with Aaliyah will come out. Dame Dash will get exposed. Cat Williams will get exposed too. That's exactly why people saying he opened up the portal for January. He did that to avoid him being talked about, because if he says the truth first, then yeah, he gets to avoid his karma. But people are going to actually, they're going to switch it up. They're going to do him way worse when it comes down to the new portal opening up for Janus, the two-faced god. So it's going to be a contradiction for next year, starting in January, even at the end of December. The thing is too, you don't have to believe me, but all I know is even through them Astros never lie. All these people that I just named, all the A-list celebrities, that even Kevin Hart, all your streamers, all your influencers, these people will be getting exposed. Comedians. It's going to be the biggest rabbit hole, to the point to where you had no choice but to mentally be complete in your ascension. And then by December next year, if you're not complete, you're literally going to reincarnate into the same exact lifestyle, and you won't know what's actually going on anymore. You won't know the difference between reality and fiction, and then you'll keep being in the same exact spell that these beings will keep on casting. Now, I put this here because too, Rihanna was found, obviously. Somebody had to bring her from Barbados into America to use her for her voice. And then Evan Rogers, who's in a horrible pop band called Rhythm Syndicate, used to visit Barbados for personal trips. So probably paying for sex or taking advantage of women as well. Found Rihanna, brought her back, and gave her herpes to Jay-Z and Kevin Lyles. And I put a question mark too, because could that be true, or is it allegedly? And the thing is too, you gotta understand how deep a lot of it, so watch this movie called Blink Twice with Channing Tatum in it. That was a great movie, great indication on how billionaires and rich people, they have their own island, and then they'll ship women out there, and then they're drugged up, they're high off life, you know, popping pills, doing liquid ecstasy, GHB, pink cocaine, all this stuff. They're taking this consistently, and a woman like having fun, just being with their favorite celebrity, whatever. Whole entire time, the celebrity actually shows the woman who they really are, and then the woman got to stand up for themselves and kill these pedos off because they've been drugged up to the point where they don't actually know who they are anymore. They've been on this island for so long that time and days and weeks don't exist anymore, and you're just on this island constantly, and you don't understand that you actually already been to this island because you've been drugged up to the point where you have amnesia from the drug, and you forgot that you took the drug because you just woke up and you just thought that you being with these pedos is normal. So even symbolism for Rihanna, like she been introduced to the game. She been introduced to Rain Man. That's why she ain't make Umbrella for no reason. Who can run this town tonight? She wasn't a part of that whole tribulation for no reason. She ain't become a billionaire for no reason either. Cause these people gotta do things. The people behind, for one, the being Rihanna, whoever Rihanna is, Rihanna's not Rihanna. First of all, they're not real people. And when I mean not real people, so like by us being real authentic, you can just see it not only just in the skin, you can just see it by the energy, by the articulation, by the thinking capacity. So the thing is to, you know, I will be real about my fuck ups, but they can't be real about how they're fucking up in life consistently, by the way, because they are hiding who they actually are. That's what makes them inauthentic to our authenticity. They can't be real as real people because, for one, they're not real to begin with. She's not even a real person, so even with her fists closed, look at her eyes. Who knows what happened? So it's like, as a spiritual being, imagine actually projecting into a different dimension. You can see this reality too, by the way. So how I picture, I'm just sitting there watching, like, who knows what happened, but they could have took advantage of her. She probably wanted a deal, and then this deal got her into a situation to the point to where she went through some traumatic shit to the point to where somebody's gonna see this one day, and hopefully they see what I went through with my eyes, because his eyes are just telling me like she done been through some shit, and these people are just smiling like, yeah, we gonna make her the biggest star, and people just don't know it yet. So let's go take a picture or proof so that we can see it before and after of who we fucked over for a deal. And then we're gonna take her to America to get her a bigger deal and get her fucked over even more, and everybody eats because we found her. We're gonna bring her to a nation of opportunity and freedom. So who knows how she gave herpes to Jay. And then this lawsuit update, rapper also accused of sexually assaulting a boy. So this stuff comes out, now the Boondocks really gonna have validation on why they not gonna make a season 4. And on top of that, this was posted December 10th. It's December 13th. And the thing is too, there's 2 ways to go, but the thing is, somebody will be like, people always want to see a black man go down. That's not the case, for one. People always use that statement to justify pedophilia. Nobody wants to see a black man go down or a carbonated being go down. But for one, if you know that these are not actual carbonated beings, then you'll actually understand why they're falling down on their own demise. Like, we don't want them to go down. They're doing it. Karma has to come around eventually. Like, you cannot sit here and do things in the dark consistently and not expect Lucifer to expose your ass. How you gonna rap about enlightenment and the light bearing of your mindset, and then you're doing shit in the dark, and then you expect him to not get exposed for what he's doing in the dark, and he raps about enlightenment, and he not even enlightened to enlightenment? Come on, fam. Sorcerers and magicians. So artists will use occultic rituals and symbols in their music to cast influence over fans. Even like, for example, like Ken Carson or Beyonce, like they're a hive mind, so they can say something, they can rap something, they can sing something, and the person will hear the certain beat, and then they'll be intrigued by this beat because they're actually swayed by lyricism by Satanists who are openly satanic, who practice satanic rituals. And then these rituals that are casted by these lower frequencies or these demonic programs or mindsets, because they're all mindsets, by the way, they're all energy, because they have to possess a body. So by these beings, the people who are going to be celebrities, they're giving away their rights to their body, and they're getting their mind transferred down into a lower awareness of what they're unaware of. So they're in their body, observing somebody being in their body. That's why, but it's like, it's just sad. This is very sad, because it's just like, we are all programmed by magicians. So many people that you see every single day, they're in their body, but they're not aware of themselves being in their body. Like, they're not aware that something is taking over their body. Something has hijacked their mindset to the point where they are influenced by beings that aren't even actually real people, but they look real to a person who thinks they're real in reality. Alchemists, figures that transform energy or consciousness through their lyrics, beats, and visuals, and are manipulating your emotions. That's why many different, like for example, a beat maker named Cookin' Soul, or the Alchemist, like there's many different beat makers that I listen to as well. So all producers, all like people who make beats and stuff like that, even lyrics, like they're all alchemists, like people who are able to wield energy. If you're able to start crying over a message that somebody's at peace with, that shows that they are using alchemy through words. So I'm pretty sure I made you feel happy, intrigued, excited, mad, disappointed, jealous. There's probably emotions that you probably get from my video, but I'm just at peace with saying subconscious spells that I detach from as I think about it before the video's even made. So I'll be practicing alchemy, but I would have the title of an alchemist. If somebody said, oh yeah, you practice alchemy, you're an alchemist. No, I practice alchemy, I'm not an alchemist, because that'll make me unconscious. But these are actual alchemists from the, like there's an alchemical realm that you can study alchemy and descend that mindset down here from that realm to this realm, and you can put that into your hobbies. It's literally that easy. Because the thing is too, I'm inspired by alchemists as well, and I like to transform negative energy into a positive. That's exactly why I enjoy fasting, because it's like I can transform that energy and bring that lower consciousness into a higher way of thinking. So even when I doubt myself, I love doubting myself into thinking that I'm actually dumber than what I think I am. I'm neither dumb nor smart, but I pretend to be dumb so that I can play on my wisdom to mentally stay in the gym. So that's why I can change my doubts and how I feel about myself, my hatred towards myself, into a positive by just getting up and sounding stupid on camera. Because either way it goes, your spirit knows what I'm trying to say without even saying it. That's why Patreon had to come into existence, because they're going to keep on shadow banning my videos because they know what I'm saying is valid, obviously. You don't give a nigga a trigger warning for telling you a contradiction. Like, that's crazy to me. Energy vampires, beings that feed off the energy of their audience, harvesting power in their concerts through controversies and social media. That's exactly why, too, when we see his name in Gematria, his name's going to add up to energy vampire, by the way, or vampire. Yeah, S. Carter, vampire. Letting you know that this nigga is an energy vampire. So yeah, hold on, let's go back to that. So yeah, he needs your energy in order to rap like that. So he's not actually rapping like that, but you deem him to be a great rapper. So by him seeing these as an observer, by they're all observers. So by him seeing that he's observing your observation and he's rapping words that don't come from him, but are being handled to his character. So Jay-Z's not the greatest rapper of all time, because Jay-Z does not even know that he's the greatest rapper of all time. Jay-Z is just rapping and stealing words from your energy that you have created from your own energetic frequency that you were getting leashed off of by him. So niggas are giving their energy to a bunch of leeches, and the people don't actually know that they're being leashed on by leeches when they are the leech, leeching off of their own energy by this nigga. Shapeshifters, rappers symbolically and literally change their personas to appeal to given agendas and energies. And the thing is too, shape-shifting is not like you're not morphing into a different being. Now the thing is too, when people say those two indications, like there are actual deities doing that, but you will never see that, because for one, your mind could never comprehend that. You will have to be out of your body to even see them morphing into their selves. On top of that, we're born blind for that exact reason. Actually, we're born blind for many other reasons, but the main reason too, because they don't have to actually shapeshift. All they got to do is, like I stated, change their persona so they can morph their emotions. Their emotions are shaped by what they feel about themselves. So squaring the circle, their solar energy is trapped in a room. In this room, their consciousness is basically controlled. They're strapped down to this ideology. It's like Robot Chicken, basically. They're strapped down to an ideology. Their energy is getting descended down from their ascension. Now something goes into whatever hole it wants, downloads their consciousness, observes their whole life, steals their life, and then it now, it now places its consciousness, lowers that consciousness, telling them to shut the hell up, beating them up subconsciously to the points where all they have now is tears. Because you have now gave your rights over to your body being snatched. And you're watching your lifestyle. So whenever niggas is crying and shit for their accolades, imagine crying for a lifestyle that you can't even control. And a body that was controlled by you, but now it's not controlled by you while you're being you. So people are not worshiping you, they're worshiping the entity inside of you. And you're idolizing that. You idolize a species that's not even here, but it's literally a parasite. Like, people idolize parasites. People idolize demons, like negative demonic frequencies. And then they defend them because they can rap on a beat made of alchemy. Jesus Christ. No pun intended. Because we're going to get into him too. Pause. Artists are put in control by their handlers or industry elites used to walk into certain narratives that keep them stuck in a submissive role. So I put that there too because he is a puppet also. And the thing is too, many other celebrities are puppets as well. He ain't the only one, but even your boy LeBron as well. Same exact thing. And the thing is too, Jay-Z also found him at a young age. So he also trafficked him, ushered him into the industry at a young age, to the point to where they put black magic on him at a young age. So he was destined, to already have black magic bestowed on him before he even turned 17 years old. So because of that, he owed his life to that nigga. Like, he put him on to those billionaire companies. So LeBron wouldn't be who he is without Jay-Z as well, even though LeBron would be LeBron. But by Jay-Z seeing him in high school, he already knew that he was going to be special at a higher age, and then he was going to put him on to just higher ways of being, like the Belay Foundation also. So he was going to give him more secrets of enlightenment as well. So that's exactly why when he did that ritual, as far as like the chalk going up in the air, or is that cocaine? Also the symbolic masonry thing when he beats, like when LeBron beats his chest at the beginning of the game, like so, like showing symbolism to Baphomet or the Belay Foundation. Then he does like the hand symbolism, letting you know who gave him the energy or who he pledges his allegiance to. That's him being like under programming. So it's not LeBron actually out there hooping, but it's a deity. It's a synthetic symbiotic relationship between LeBron and his host, and LeBron is just observing his synthetic reality that's artificially being made through a basketball game. So it's not actually LeBron out there, but it's a deity, it's a specimen out there being LeBron in LeBron's dream. So LeBron is literally sleeping right now, unconscious, under mind control. He's a puppet, literally. So industry elites used to walk in certain areas that keep them stuck in a submissive role. That's why they put them in control. They handle their lifestyle to them, because for one, if you want to become famous, you want to be known, this is what has to happen. And they're okay with that. So it's like, you can't get sad over shit like this, because if you know that your life is going to be handled before you sign that paper, it's like you saying like, but whatever happens, I just want to be famous. Like, I just want to experience it for a temporary period of time. Oh, you think it's going to be temporary? Oh, okay, say less. Boom. Just like that. Now you're observing fame. But who's making you famous? Who is a celebrity? Who is the figure that's actually famous? Is it the person, or is it a being? And what are they being when they're famous? You don't idolize the celebrity. You idolize the energy. You idolize the light that they are bearing. So you literally idolize Lucifer. You literally. That shit's sad. But then, is that good or bad? Gatekeepers. Witness yourself. So gatekeepers, influencers, and the thing is too, he is also a gatekeeper as well. So the thing is too, he basically, to me, he matches a sorcerer, alchemy, because for one, you gotta be a magician and a sorcerer to even talk or rap like that, and to have an influence over billions of people, even billionaires. Alchemy, rapping on beats, taking your energy, shape-shifting mentally, changing his persona, changing his look, changing his narrative, changing his whole dilemma on the community and industries. He's a puppet because who's actually controlling the artist or the billionaire? A gatekeeper because he does and he has done many things to get people on board into a higher foundation as far as rap and all that too. Even by giving Kanye will get exposed also. Influencers that determine who gets access to fame or resources, often in exchange for how low they can be towards hidden agendas. So even when Jay-Z found Kanye West, like, how dedicated are you for fame? Like, will you get the panda eyes? Are you willing to get, even when they say sell your soul, selling your soul is basically the nice teacup way, or the nice, put a skirt on the truth way of saying, giving up your asshole. So how fast will you give your asshole up? How many times will you do it? Because the more you do it, the more gifts you get. The more you're willing to be submissive is how fast you become a gatekeeper. Meaning that people will have to go through you for fame and resources. People have to go through you for indications and alternatives and different, let's say collaborations or ads and sponsorships, all of that. Just opportunities in general. So how loyal will you be to your butt-breaking master? How loyal will you be to a booty bandit? We are doing the same thing together. So it's like, too, you can't even expect these gatekeepers to top, A-list celebrities to not get caught. It's like when you are a billionaire, when they tell you that to the public, you are a billionaire, and you see them constantly doing things that are influential, they're letting you know that these are nothing but gatekeepers, but they're not actually real people. These are like higher orders of deities and angelic realms. So you're basically seeing fallen angels in the physical form, but you think that they're actually people looking like you. And that's not their true form. So you are seeing a false image of a form that is formless, but if formed by shape-shifting, it's influenced through a reptilian mindset that you grew up in. So technically speaking, we are all in the same bloodline of reptilians. So what does that make you? We are under their control. Reptilian influencers, mental traveler, are beings that use their platform to promote materialism and division. Mental traveler meaning that this nigga traveled from a higher dimension, obviously. If you have an old picture of a doppelganger, because we have doppelgangers too. So by you mentally traveling from the astrals, even the quantum realm, you are now able to use platforms, even like he had his own platform, I think like Tidal or something like that, right? Use your own platform to promote materialism and division. So no matter what, like, he don't fuck with us, but he raps like us. He looks just like us. Is he like us? No, nigga, he's not. Because he only cares about one thing, your money. That's why he's a spellcaster. Because their lyrics and beats are encoded with subliminal messages and hypnotic frequencies. So when have you ever heard a Jay-Z beat being rapped on in like 432, 777, 893? When have you ever heard that on the radio? You never gonna hear that shit. Why? Because why would they want you to feel good through Lucifer's lyrics? If Lucifer rapped on a 432 beat or a 777 beat, that would make you feel, not even just that, if it was rapping with a high vibrational message, you'd be like, this ain't a Jay-Z that I know. Nigga, I want to hear that positive shit. Exactly. But you don't want it to always be negative. That's why Lucifer stepped in. Occultists, artists do engage in esoteric practices while also summoning energies to amplify their success. So that's why occultism does exist, because they practice different esoteric teachings as well, even ancient Egyptian school teachings as well, even teachings from the moon as well, because they can also teleport to the base up there. And once you can teleport and transcend your mindset to the moon, you are on a base of frequencies that govern our government's government. So by them going to the deep teachings, they're able to get energies that amplify their success. So they're able to do these rituals that open up demonic realms. I hate that word demonic, but negative realms, higher realms though, angelic. Alright, but these angelic realms, these are the realms to where there is no, and I say angelic because that's the best way to comprehend higher frequencies, higher energies, or higher energetic fields of quantum theories that are theorized by quantum theorists. But even through metaphysics also, once they're able to open up the portal, they're able to now walk through these dimensions of their physical bodies. And then that's where the transmutation of souls come in too, but even with shadow figures also, because anonymous industry gamblers that orchestrate movements behind the scenes, they are influencing both artists and audiences by watching the plan unfold. And that's exactly like I said earlier too, with the, as they are transitioning from, even descending from that order of the portal, now the transferring of consciousness will come into play from just different laboratories or bases that they are living in underground. So domes, deep underground military bases, and once they go into this, the thing is to hide that, you go underground, obviously. So when you're in those societies too, because even with Hollywood, most of Hollywood is underground anyway. So what you see on the surface is not what you see underground. Because what you see on the ground is massively an expansion of the same exact image of what you see on top. So when I went to Los Angeles, California as well, this was years ago too, but when I went, my spirit could just observe the energy because I've been there before. And once I've been there before, like mentally, it was deja vu to actually be there physically, because seeing just the sign, just the homeless people, just the energy, like it wasn't really sunny at the time. It was sunny, but it was like cloudy. And just seeing like the energy, just seeing all the cars, all the people, how people treat like the stars on the Hollywood, and just like how people are walking around just living life or whatever the case may be, like life in general. It was just like how you just seen really like a video game. So it was just really interesting to see that, how they orchestrate just the people who are moving in general, because it's like living in a background of background characters who don't know that they're actually background characters to a main story, and who's the main protagonist in the antagonist mindset. And that's just where many people will dwell at. So as I'm walking, I knew there was something deeper behind the scenes of just Los Angeles in general, even Atlanta now too. Excuse me, even Atlanta now too. So it just means to me, like underground, these deities, even these people, these kids, they're just they have no way out. Because why? Who's gonna let them out when they've been sold into no way out? Who's gonna let the kids out when there's no way out? That's exactly why we got many different types of, just reptilian mindsets. And you got many other beings too, but the reptilian mindset literally is like what we have inside of our brain. So type 1 reptilian mindset, proboscis. And then they travel through the person's eyesight and removing their consciousness and mimicking the behavior of the person and clone, because they don't have a soul anyways. They merge the mind with artificial intelligence and stay immortal with the robotoid transition. So I already explained that earlier too, but and the proboscis or proboscis, that's this antenna they got as well. So even like in the Matrix, that was basically an indication of what that looks like as well, because when they travel through your eyesight, like I said earlier, they remove your consciousness, because of course too, they're basically killing you, but they're removing your consciousness at this point, because when I say killing you, you can't die, but they're basically going to put you in storage, and then they're going to cut a hole in the front of your view, and you're going to be sitting down in your mindset, strapped down, observing your whole life pass by. And then when it's time for you to go, they'll say bye to you, release you, and then they'll go to a different body, and you'll have wasted your life chasing fame. That's how fast it'll go by. Like, I don't even know how deep I can go into that, because it's just that simple. You want fame that bad, so be it. You can smile all you want, you can do all the signs you want, take all the pictures you want, but just know you'll be used as entertainment. You'll be used as nothing but a drug. You'll be known as nothing but dopamine. You always be a clown to our circus. So people will only see you for your entertainment value. If you're not providing entertainment for them, they will not care for you. They will not want to be around you. They won't want to give you money, because you can't make them feel good about their miserable reality. So we're going to make you miserable if you're not enhancing their reality. We need more souls. Give us more solar energy. Have more people be influenced by your influence. And then once we handle a certain agenda for you to follow to manipulate them, then you can distract them from what we're doing to you. And then once you understand that, we'll tell you what we're going to do to society, and so on and so forth. So they're basically like, and the thing is too, the person behind this is literally watching this whole shit happen. So when they're taking pictures and shit, and they're smiling, and you look at their eyesight, that lets you know that the person behind those eyes, that's the fakest smile ever, because that smile hides many tears. And not projecting that on anybody, but it's just plain, it's just clear as day. You can see that shit from a mile away. Like, that smile is just telling you that they got fucked for a deal. So it's like, smile, because we gave you everything that you wanted. And you did not refuse to toot your ass up. You wanted us to, take away your butt. So, what you mad about? We gave you the whole world. We spoiling you in front of the public eye. And you're mad about that? Should we have to show the people what you did behind closed doors? We got blackmail on you. So it's like even with Jay-Z. Like, people won't believe what he's been doing, or they won't believe this information I'm telling you. But the thing is, though, if they told you this, you would literally question what God is. You would question what a demon is. You would start questioning what you have been accepting your whole entire life. That will make you transition. You will literally have an ego death at that point. When I say ego death, you will literally transition into a higher mindset. You have to go into the 4, the 5, the 6, the 7, the 7th dimension. Once you get into those realms, these beings that we talking about, they won't even put fear into you no more. Cause nigga, you are them as well. So it ain't no damn difference. But people are not ready for that. That's why evil and good don't exist. Evil is not even an action, nor a man or a woman. It's a way of being. So there are beings that want to be that way because that's their nature. Just like yours, they choose to act in it. You don't. That's the difference. And we judge them for that, or we praise them for that. Why do you think you're praised for doing satanic rituals behind closed doors? If you want to do satanic rituals, you'll be famous. But then again, though, what is a satanic ritual when Satanism doesn't even exist to itself? And what is satanic rituals when we're all doing a satanic ritual act by paying attention, by talking and articulating spells from spellcasters? They live in deep underground military bases, clothing at an all-time high. They and these beings don't morph into a human. Oh yeah, in all time, day and night. And these beings don't morph into a human to the deity, but the deity becomes the human being unconscious. So they don't become the human, but the deity becomes the human being unconscious. So the being from the higher realm is not the human, but it's being the human unconsciously. So I basically said that in 3 different ways for you. Jay-Z's not a real person. But people don't know that because they're not conscious to his unconsciousness. These people give up rights to attain having their own set of dreams and realizing nightmares, and they are put in the process of REM sleep. So they're constantly having, for one, they can't even dream. So they're literally just stuck in limbo. You can't dream nor have a nightmare. You're stuck in the present moment. You are in a singular point of a black and white hole. So you are stuck in mind control. You can't even control your mind because you are in REM sleep. So you are basically in, what's that word? A coma. Yeah, like a coma basically. So you're stuck in that sleep of realm. And like this realm sleep too, it keeps your subconscious mind unconscious because they're doing whatever implant mentally to control your subconscious thoughts. And your thoughts are placed into a higher realm artificially, and they're watching you transition into a robot. To where you have to be controlled by occultists, alchemists, witches, warlocks, and occultists and spellcasters, yeah. And they will also possess people into becoming drones, and they wouldn't have any control of their body. So that's the real right there too. Or even just these parasites, even in our body. When a species makes it painful for the human to be put through this ritual, their consciousness is long gone and the real will take over, and the consciousness will be observed by the real, mimic what it watches in the person's body. Literally, so it's like the people cheering for this being, the people are cheering for it. So basically, when people see a celebrity, or like when they see somebody who's living it up, they're praising this. You look stupid. You look dumb. Like you're praising a parasite. You're praising a leech. Now you might as well go to the Amazon River, put your hand in the river, and then watch the leeches suck on your blood and start praising them for it. That's literally what you're doing. You're sticking your hand in the Amazon River and you're looking down at your arm and you're like, this feels good. They love me. Wow. I can do this for the rest of my life. I love the attention. This is what they're doing. But then when the deity is not pleased with the fame, when the fame, like they need a scapegoat. So when the deities, like when the fame starts running, like when it runs out, I don't say rising out. Yeah, when the fame starts running out, nigga, they moving on to the next host. Cause they're parasites. They need a body. They're toxins. They're poisons. So if you can't get your shit right, they're gonna find somebody else who can get their shit right. Cause what you gonna do about it? And then the type 3, they get old and their neck was short and they have a shriveled head. Once that happens, they see their vessels dying out, rotting, deteriorating. To stay immortal, to avoid karma, they gotta transmute energy into artificial intelligence. And that's exactly why Tesla came out too, with these robotoid, the AI transition that we're already in right now, because robots already been here, so it's no difference to be scared of what you've been seeing. But these type 3 reptilians with this, like, they're like tall, miniature, like their heads are miniature, their skins is long. Skins is long too. Their neck is long. Their body long as shit too. They can be gray, black. They can be brown, any shade honestly, depending on their enlightenment and where they come from. But once they start deteriorating, they transfer their energy into a different host. They can take DNA from the past and remain the person, and they can have a different upbringing and consciousness, and their brain will be chipped and taken over since their old consciousness is long gone. They have no empathy towards anyone, and they want self-gratification and are ill-minded and are sexually perverted. So many different other forms we got too. So we got tapeworms. This is a flat, segmented parasiting or a parasite living in the intestines, feeding on nutrients from the host. And then of course too, we got, I'll put examples right there too. So if you consume undercooked meat or contaminated water, it can introduce tapeworms into the body. So that's why many people that you see, they're possessed by tapeworms also. Because for one, many people who are eating meat that's not cooked, that makes you, for when you're a cannibal, in my eyes, if you're eating meat in general. But I'm misunderstood because, of course, the flesh needs to eat the flesh to please itself. But now, contaminated water too, I feel like all the water is contaminated unless it's purified, or you have a purifier. And then, yeah, this stuff can place a miniature tapeworms in your body. So you won't see them, but they're in your water. So you have to be able to purify your water and make sure it's healthy to drink. Hookworms, small beings that enter through the skin, like walking barefoot on contaminated soil and feed on blood in the intestines. So give symptoms like anemia, fatigue, and malnutrition. Many people do got hookworms, so check people's skin also, because there are many people who do walk around barefoot, and people don't clean their shit. Like some people will walk in in nature, they'll roll in the dirt and shit like that, and they won't shower, and they got all this shit in their bed and all that, and then they wonder why they don't feel like eating sometimes. They're tired. Yeah, I think them hookworms for that. Flukes, flatworms that target precise organs like the liver, lungs, or blood. A lot of times people got this shit in their liver and their lungs too, which is why many people will be coughing up like blood and their lungs are failing. Yeah, liver flukes are contracted from eating raw or undercooked freshwater fish. I just feel like raw foods in general, either way it go. So watch out for that. And the thing is too, you won't know about it till you get older. That's the thing too. These parasites won't be known in your system till you get older, because that's when you start caring, when you get older. So when you're young, you can tell somebody this and they'll ignore it. They'll be like, I don't want to hear that shit. Say less. Toxoplasma gondii, a microscopic parasite often spread through cat feces or undercooked meat, known to affect behavior and even mental health. It can influence risk-taking behaviors and mood disorders in the human consciousness. So this parasite right here can basically cause you to feel a certain way, give you intrusive thoughts, and then you act on them. Energy vampires, so people are beings that drain your energy mentally as well and spiritually. They make you feel exhausted after many interactions. So someone who's constantly complaining and expects emotional support without giving that same exact energy back. Toxic systems, including family members also. Societal structures, by their unity, they exploit human energy and creativity for profit and control. Debt cycles where individuals are trapped in financial systems designed to keep them dependent. Astral entities, non-physical beings that latch onto a person's energy field and feed on negative emotions. Example, experiencing constant fear, anxiety, and emotional heaviness without an identifiable source. And I think it's too, they don't gotta identify you because we actually have no identity, but they marked us to give us an identity for these entities. So these entities, for them to identify somebody special, they had to mark your ass just for them. That's exactly why humanity was marked at birth, for them. We are sacrificial lambs for their hunger. That's why you better enjoy life, and you better find the path of Almighty God and get the fuck up out of here, man. Reptilian mindsets, thought patterns rooted in greed, control, and domination. That's all they care for. The more money they get, the more control they have, the more domination they have over your submission. Leaders, systems prioritizing power and exploitation over collective well-being. Etheric implants, that's the strongest one too. Ethereal energetic devices placed into a person's aura to limit awareness or growth. Having persistent mental blocks and repeating negative patterns despite building efforts to change. So many people start acting out, they start acting outlandish. Many of these people got planted, not just like a Neuralink plant, like a Neuralink plant or implant, but like a spiritual implant. It's like they've been marked even spiritually because you thought you was slick. So now I'm gonna show you how slick you think you are. I'm gonna start implanting you with a device to where you can't even escape me spiritually. Like these people are special. They literally had to get like watched 24/7. And when they go against what's going on, that plant starts activating, and the being that's controlling this host in all realms will follow that enlightenment. Reptilian overlords, mind transferring and shifting reptilian beings controlling global systems through manipulation, and they're also controlled by archons. So it might as well be reptilian overlords that are governed by our archons. Certain influential figures and institutions are controlled by these entities. AI reptilian symbiosis, deities that are combining artificial intelligence and reptilian archetypes so that they can control human thought, mental algorithms manipulating emotions and decisions to create dependency on digital systems. And they also use DNA collection. So these right here are like the ways they basically manipulate and control your favorite celebrity. So like I said earlier with the duplication method for DNA, so they gather genetic material that can be harvested from hair, saliva, and their skin during public events or numerous medical visits. You gotta go to the doctor, you had to, or you had to get hospitalized, you gotta go through something. They have your hair, your saliva, and your skin, so you cannot avoid them. On top of that too, Jay-Z has attended many public events, even in the old times as well. So how do you think he was able to be, manifested in so many different timelines? Because for one, when they're opening up these portals, all they're doing is literally just getting that hair sample, even probably when you sleep too. Because you don't know what you're doing when you're unconscious and going to bed at night. Take your hair sample, go to a different dimension real quick. It happens fast as well. And if you got cameras, you still won't see it coming because it's like they slow down time in their dimension, but they're mocking you and yours. Go to a higher dimension, boom, put that hair sample, replicate you, connect your DNA in an artificial growth chamber. Once you grow up, boom, send you right back to a different dimension. There you are again. Advanced biotechnology used to grow a clone of controlled environments mimicking science fiction narratives. That's why sci-fi exists, because they had to give you a category that actually does exist to existence, to the point where the movies can articulate what they're actually mocking you to watch. So yeah, that's how they grow different clones in controlled environments, because they're able to mimic Satan or science, or literally Almighty God. Satan was made to mock Almighty God. That's why science came into play. And who do you think gave the deity access to science? Almighty God. Memory transfer. And the thing is too, this is basically over an hour and we still haven't even gotten to like the actual Gematria breakdown. Memory transfer. I'm gonna do that on Patreon though. Memory transfer. Mind control techniques involving programming with choices of implanting memories to make a clone behave like the original person. Control replacement. The clone replaces the celebrity after the original is taken out. And in behavioral manipulation, clones are used to push certain agendas and false narratives while being controlled by external forces. And then this is a type 2 deity right here. This is basically like this suit, like it cosplayed as this species, but unconsciously it never knew that it was here. So it was like nothing but I call it like a psyop, you can say. And I say it's psyop because psychologically through the operation, it wanted to be, like, wanted to have bone structure, it wanted to actually be in reality. So it pretended to play itself by swapping different bodies to the point where it deteriorated, became its skeleton self, because the suit that it had it washed off, obviously. Like, it had to just disintegrate because it was just that long. Then it got exposed to the public, but of course the public won't want you to see them for what they are. It's like, so this chip implant right here, because this deity wants to get people on the same page as far as being controlled mentally. Because if you can't control your mind for yourself, we'll do it for you. All right, now let's get into Gematria. And the thing is too, we're not gonna cover the whole thing because the whole thing is gonna be for the Patreon family. But I will cover. So actually, I might just say that for the Patreon, but I'm gonna still cover this stuff. So you can see, you got masonry right here from this guy. Now, I know y'all remember this. It was titled, I was right. So Jay-Z, when he dropped this album right here. So now, when I put that in Gematria, we got The Dream. So of course you got MLK as well. And he also had like some song in there that was dedicated to that as well. But you got The King, The Dream, Masonic, Occult, Jesus, Lucifer. Don't forget Jay-Z. Oh, he had a song called The Evils, I think, too, or Devil, something like that, rapper. Messiah, which is like, you know, what we would call Jesus, Yeshua, Lucifer, Gematria. And the thing is too, for Jay-Z, and once again, this is symbolism. So when you watch this, go back to this album, hear his songs again. Understand what he's telling you in symbolism. 74. Think about Gematria once again. It's all a coincidence. And I say coincidence because, for one, it's a contradiction of what could be right and what couldn't be right. But what couldn't be right still got right in it, because righteousness will always prevail over the shadow side of what people actually think they're not hiding in. So basically telling you, even in 74, so the only thing that don't really matter in this right here is just 52 right here. But everything else added up in 2 ciphers, 3 ciphers, 4 ciphers, 5 fucking ciphers. So what is he really telling you? What is he really telling you in 444? Nigga, so we got, if we disregard this, you got 1 cipher, 2, 3, 4. Letting your ass know that this nigga is speaking Luciferian spells, pretending to be Jesus while running to occult masters in the masonry, deeming himself as a king with a dream. That's why he calls himself Hova, because he deems himself as the king of Jay-Z's dream. So whatever God this is knows about Gematria, to avoid Gematria, told you in 2017 what this symbolism is of occultism, Messiah, Luciferianism, Jesus, telling you about like just a dream he has for his people, what he's going to change, how he looks at himself. He's telling you everything about himself, literally telling on himself. And niggas still worship him because he's enlightened. And the thing is too, he stayed to go into higher levels. I can understand if you went to masonry, you understood at the first level what they're doing, and you said, I'm gonna walk out. I don't fuck with this. I can respect you for that. But if you stayed on level 1 and then you say, I want to go to the 33rd level, you will sell out. Now, the 666 is the number of our carbon-based cellular molecular structure made of 6 protons, neutrons, electrons. In this state, humanity is easier to control, and that's why the controllers, the deletes, want us to remain. However, nothing can stop the increased light penetrating our planet. Enlightenment. The light incoming is converting in steps and ways our cellular molecular structure from carbon-based 666 to a crystalline base of structure of 777, 7 protons, neutrons, electrons. That's how humanity is evolving, and that's why the light is so important. And that's exactly why bearing light in evolution with your atoms will get you into a higher way of humanity. Jay-Z, Fall Guy. He has to be the industry fall guy for he's mimicking and mocking what his rich baby daddy and mother do behind closed doors. So like what these higher deities do, he's the mockery of what they are doing. Like he's the indication of what they've been doing to our people. So it's like looking at him as a fall guy, we're giving him too much credit for what they've been doing to our people. So it's no surprise. So Joe, whoever this is, look him up. Joe Campbell, Scapegoat, Shawn Carter. And then even with this song too, it's called Freemason with Rick Ross. But so they put the devil on me, I prefer niggas to squeeze the metal on me. Rumors of Lucifer, I don't know who to trust. So rumors of Lucifer, I don't know who to trust, meaning that he doesn't know if he can trust God or Satan. So he's just gonna pick whatever side he wants. Whole world want my demise, turn the music up. Hear me clearly if y'all niggas fear me. Just say y'all fear me. Fuck all these fairy tales. Go to a mindset. This is God's engineering of my mindset. Go to a lower mindset because a higher mindset engineered me. Telling you who his master is. There's a Hail Mary pass, y'all interfering. So he basically not even rapping to you. He rapping to the higher ups, letting them know like I'm sending my Luciferian occultism to y'all to, you know, pass through the masses, because like they gonna hear me for what I'm saying, but I'm not talking to them, I'm talking to them higher ups. He without sin shall cast the first stone. And the thing is too, if you cast that first stone, just know that you are casting a stone at your sin. If you think you have no sin and you throw that stone, just know you are throwing stone at your sin, but you won't claim it to be sin because you think that you're not a sinner. But of course, a sinner would not think that they're sinning. And that's the sinful way of what sin will do to you. But what is sin to itself when it's your nature? See, I look in the mirror, double check your appearance. Bitch, I said I was amazing, not that I'm a Mason. It's amazing that I made it through the maze that I was in. Bitch, I said I'm amazing, not a Mason. And Freemasons don't even exist in themselves anyways. So, saying a lot, this is, cause yeah, I know what I'm gonna do. I ain't gonna do y'all like that. So, okay, what else we got? It's basically like an hour and some change. I didn't think it's gonna be that long, cause I was trying to break this down for real. Because even with this lawsuit right here, just know there'll be way more lawsuits. Way more women and men will be coming out with their children about what has been done. Jay-Z accused in civil lawsuit raping a 13-year-old girl in 2000 along with Shawn Combs. He understood that was going to happen, but he didn't think that it was going to actually happen. Because he didn't think nobody was going to start telling. And then Jay-Z as well with Takeover. You rode, oh, this is a grown man, B.I. get you rolled into tree-eyed bitch. You reach ain't long enough. Done in your piece ain't strong enough. Fuck it, Rockefeller is the army. So Rockefeller, Luciferians is the army, better yet the Navy. Niggas will kidnap your baby, spit at your lady. And people be like, we kill you motherfucking ants with a sledgehammer. So they basically telling you too, like they look at us like ants. And they're not trying to kill you like with a shoe, they're killing you with a sledgehammer to eliminate you and your existence. But like he's saying though, they'll kidnap your baby to spit at your lady while kidnapping your baby, because what you gonna do about it? You worship us. So let me get your baby. I'll take care of her. Sasquatch, Godzilla, King Kong, Loch Ness, Goblin, with no conscience. Question what these things all have in common. Everybody know I'm a motherfucking monster, conquer, stomp you, stop your silly nonsense. Not to know you niggas know where the swamp is. None of you niggas have seen the carnage that I've seen. None of you niggas have seen the carnage that I've seen. I still hear fiends screaming my dreams. Murder, murder in black convertibles. I kill a block, I murder the avenues. I pillage your village, women and children. And niggas gonna be like, it's just a rap. All I get is these vampires and bloodsuckers. This nigga is, this being, so the thing is too, you understand as well, you can say for Jay-Z to come out, this is like what he has to rap in order to even get those higher deals. So the being is observing the handled writing, and it's taking and leeching, even like a Space Jam. When the mic comes on, that's when Jay-Z's able to come out. That's when, but then when he wants to turn into Hova, his alter ego, that's when Shawn Carter is able to see both. So this nigga probably got two beings in his mindset. Two alter egos while being the alter ego of an ego. So this nigga probably has more than one ego, literally. Like more than one character. So he's split in his mindset. And in his mindset, that nigga has so many mindsets to the point to where he's telling you what they do to people. But ain't nobody gonna do shit. Cause he's Jay-Z. And he still can hear the fiend scream in his dreams. Because let's just say it like this, it's like Patreon talk, but even like Adrenochrome, like he can just hear, like when Ali Carter in the video earlier mentioned about kids spinning on the wheel and all that, like what do you think that is? What do you think that's for? And he's saying that in his dreams because even when he goes to bed at night, he knows that the shit that he did, the things that he sold lies to, he can hear people screaming in pain and agony, but he gets paid for their pain and agony, so why does he care? But he knows what he's doing because he has to do these things to keep his image up or he wouldn't be Jay-Z. And this was the statement that he posted as well, and this is when a blog was talking about, did I put it out of order? Yeah, I probably did. Yeah, I think I put it out of order. But it was like another article that these people were talking about and how he was like challenging the accuser. Like he basically saying like the accuser ain't lying, but they lying. But he's lying to himself. Humanizing himself, so leaned on PR tactic by bringing his family to the conversation and playing the victim, which is what an abuser will do. So there's one picture I had to put here too. She was offered a drink that made her feel woozy, lightheaded, and felt like she needed to lie down. The suit said she went into a room to rest. Shortly after, the suit said Combs and Carter into the room with Combs saying, "You're ready to party." That's when she alleges that Carter removed her clothes and held her down and aped her while Combs and another unnamed female celebrity watched. Could be Beyonce or J-Lo. She says Combs also aped her as Carter and the woman looked on. The suit says she was able to resist being forced to perform oral on Combs by hitting him in the neck and that he stopped. The eyes sealing what the mind's prepared to comprehend. And in conclusion, so I'm gonna do the rest of, so I'm gonna do that, those yellow pictures, and then most of Gematria, I'm gonna do that on Patreon. Just because, you know, people on Patreon, I just really appreciate y'all for even staying loyal and keeping up with the video. So y'all definitely deserve that. But YouTube, y'all deserve this also. So I'm gonna give y'all, cause I fuck with y'all, you know what I'm saying? No, I can't give y'all that, nor that either. So look, we can go through this. So the one that I won't go through, but understand the names though, because I'm gonna go through this on Patreon. So if you want to see me cover all this, it's gonna be on the Patreon teaching. But okay, so for Jay-Z, for one, I put Jay-Z's a pedo. This is what I got in Gematria right here. As you can see, the correlation too. Ordinal 131. Bad Boy Records, Black Slavery, Brainwashed By, Male in Male Body. And the thing is, everything that we talked about, my intuition told me to put these names. Cultist Base, Marduk Avatar, Sealed in Forehead, Mind Prison, Veil of Amnesia, Olympian God, Master Satan, Heat Control, Star Nibiru, CERN Stargate, Gay Bar and Grill, The Cherubim, Gayism Vibes, The Black Mafia Angel, Reptilian Base, The Hole is Deep, Pause, Death Becomes Her, Nephilim Leader, By Evil Elite, Tupac is Female, Projected Image. Then I put Jay-Z, Mason, P. Diddy, Sacrifice, 4th of December. That's with Pimp C, 62, and Jazzo, I think, 62. Gematria, Murder. What does this correlate to? Why did I put that? Oh, yeah, okay. Because that goes with rapper. Gematria, Murder, Rapper, Beyonce, Watch the Throne. And then Watch the Throne, Sane and His Pawns. Beyonce Knows, Watch the Throne. So 96, you got 69, 69, 69. Then we got that. Vampire, okay. So, but yeah. So I'm just gonna go over those. I'm gonna break these down on Patreon though. And then Pedo, Comedic Chance, Golden Age Coming, Major Traffic, Chess Player, Highest Satan, Even the Beast, Evil Spells, TMI Fools, Down and Out, They Make Sonic Cat, Reptilian Race, USA Death Camps, Make You Dumb, Kingdom of Hell, R. Kelly Leaks, Monarch Slave, TV Hologram. R. Kelly Leaks. R. Kelly will be getting leaked again too. Okay. Jay-Z's a pedo, Sacrifice Love, Calling Lucifer, Nephilim, Embody Gematria, Calculatory, Dreamwork, Vril Lizard. Cult members, League Censor, Glorified Body, God Created That, is an Angelic Being, Jehovah Elohim, Paradigm Shift, Holly Weird. Unified Avatar, Satan's Work, Jesus Login, You Can Do Magic, This is Black Magic, Lack of Wisdom, Human Cloning, Neuroscience, Channel Energy, Assassinated. Everything I done told you is in Gematria. All I did was pull up the list and I'm just gonna let you do the work. But, so this is the one that we gonna cover, and then after that it's gonna be an end, because this video getting long, so. Yeah, what time is it? Yeah, I gotta edit. It's been like an hour. Jay-Z's a pedo, so Planned Pandemic. What he's going through right now is a pandemic. So it's basically meant to keep you inside, meant to keep you intrigued by information that you haven't seen before. But you've seen this information coming. But the information that you've seen coming has already came, but you think that it hasn't came because you weren't paying attention to what has already come, or what was already here. Ascended Master, Jay-Z's, like I said earlier, the being that's in Jay-Z's body or suit is an ascended master. That's exactly why it knows how to rap. So when the being is rapping, it's not Jay-Z rapping, but it's the being spitting occultism on alchemy at a higher frequency, because it crucified Jay-Z's subconscious mind. And that's why I stated too earlier with the picture of Jay-Z, regeneration, literally like reincarnation. So they duplicated his consciousness and he was able to regenerate into multiple Jay-Z's, meaning that in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, his energy is able, for one, we all had the God gene, so we all can regenerate. That's exactly why we are all in reincarnated bodysuits, because our solar energy, for one, is regenerating every single day. So when they knock his energy off, when they crucify him, he comes right back, because they need his rhymes, they need his raps. Because from one, he wanted to be a famous rapper, right? Say less, we're going to clone your ass forever and you will always be a slave to the rap game, because you got to stay on top, right? Humiliation, he had to go through a humiliation ritual, because for one, it's in his scripts. That's exactly why he's a pedo, is in his script. Humiliation ritual. And the thing is too, by him being through this ritual, he's going through a programming phase, because for one, he is not in the suit, but he's in his suit, but his energy is lowered down to a lower level of his baseline desire. So he's literally living in a fictitious reality, because for one, he feels guilty about what he's done. But you can't go back on your word. So he feels guilty about it, which is exactly why what he's doing right now is guilty conscious. So as soon as the allegation came out, his team instantly sent that letter, and he's a serial killer, because once that allegation comes out, now more allegations come out, and then once this happens, it's sad, but it's very true. And the thing is too, this is going to be a video for the future, because when people go back and see this shit and they see more Jay-Z things, Diddy, LeBron, Rihanna, Beyonce, Usher, like just Justin Timberlake, bro, there's so many names, even like in entertainment in general. you're gonna see so many names. You come back and see this video, you be like, damn. Because for one, these are not real people. We all have a script to follow. So it's like bashing and judging them is really you bashing and judging yourself. But you have to just watch and observe what people do for money, for one. Two, you also have to really question, if they're not people, what are they being? Because that's not a human being. It look like one, but it ain't a human being. Because a human being's not real to itself. Because it's a consciousness. So what being is pretending to be in that human's consciousness? That's exactly why they're teaming up with making America satanic again. That's all what this means. Make America satanic again. That's why it's great to practice Satanism in their eyes, because he works with a bunch of Zionists. He surrendered as their scapegoat, because it's like a level of, so you got Boule Foundation, so you got our people in higher fraternities. They're in a higher realm, in like the 4D of their mindset. They're doing occultic things behind closed doors, but they're being controlled by higher puppets in the 5D and the 6D realm. Now, when you surrender your higher enlightenment to those higher beings, you are now manipulating society, because your bloodline comes from a heavenly realm above. That's exactly why he had to surrender to these Jesuits, these other leaders who are governing him, because for one, he is their scapegoat, and it's sad but true. All the things that you went through wasn't you, but it was the being inside of you that committed the crimes that you watched yourself do. So you will get the blame for that. And you can't tell the internet or the people what you're going through, because don't forget, you sold your morality out. That's why we had to crucify the actual Shawn Carter, and we had to make him known today as Jay-Z, because your body is being possessed by an ascended master. You know what? I'm gonna give y'all a little juice, but that's about it. So Hollywood, I don't gotta go into that. That's self-explanatory. Mind you, Jay-Z's a pedo. Call on Lucifer. He ain't made that song for no reason. The Nephilim, embodied Gematria. Vril Lizard. Remember what the proboscis, the type 1 species of reptilian that has the probe. The probe is able to make the daywalker work in the night and project what it did during the day. That's why he's an angelic being. That's literally in a demonic skin suit. And he's a unified avatar. Unified avatar meaning too that, for one, this unified avatar is thinking in a, I say he's controlled past the 9th dimensional realm. So he's past the 9th dimensional realm, but just know in neuroscience, his energy is being channeled into a cloning process that Satan gets to log into every single day. So it's like you log into a video game, you log into The Sims, you got your character moving, operating, doing things at its own premise or whatever. And then during the night, when it wants to log off or get off the game, that's when you shut down Jay-Z's cloning process. And then this is when you start working in his dreams now. You start observing more lyrics, you start observing more spells, and then you call on enlightenment to protect you while you're sacrificing more love. So sacrifice love too, while you're thinking Dame Dash feels the way he feels. What really happened to Aaliyah after Beyonce met her on the MTV Awards in 2000? What happened after that? Because if Aaliyah was still here, would there be a Beyonce or a Rihanna? So other than that though, the rest of this video will be talked about on Patreon if you want to subscribe to that. Because I really want to, I can get into this one too, but this is a special one for, I just wanted to, yeah, this is for Patreon. But other than that though, at least y'all seen it. I'm giving y'all clues, I'm giving y'all just guides basically to guide you into your own teaching on how you want to interpret this character. But overall, just know this is only the beginning of an infinite rabbit hole. He is not a real person, and he does not exist to himself. He is once again, where's that picture at? He is literally just seeing what he's projected to see himself into. That's why he throws this up. Because he's literally, basically, because I don't want to glorify this shit. It's going to sound like it's glorification, but it's not. But it's a projection of what we're made in the image of. It's a literally almighty, when he does that symbolism with the all-seeing eye, throwing his hands up to Rockefeller, that's the almighty creation, or the almighty observer dumbing itself down to mock your ignorance. I can't make this up. To end this video off on a good note, because it's not actually a good note. It actually sounds very bad. So who's singing it? Just want you to understand this before we conclude this video. This is when this nigga is doing this. This is literally the almighty observer, subconsciously in a demonic meat suit. The being behind these eyes is throwing up what it's looking at, who it bows down to, who it's a servant for, who it works for, who's observing this actor. Who's observing the actor to throw up the symbolism to let you know, I see you and you see me. That's literally what this nigga's telling you. I see you in the light. I see you in the night. I see you all around. So when you see me, just know you seeing me for seeing you. And you still can't see me when I see you. So when you seeing me, are you actually seeing yourself inside of me? Because if so, I want you on my team so that I can see myself inside of you and take your energy for a light bearer that's unified with other light bearers so they can have your energy as well. And then they can traffic your ass all through the industry to gain more enlightenment and more energy. Literally the almighty creator in all forms, all facets, all imaginations, all projections, telling you, I see myself in my subconscious ego of Satan's enlightenment at a Christ consciousness. These niggas know what they're doing. They're all awake for a reason. That's why when they throw this up, they're literally mocking society and the masses because they want you to talk about them 24/7. And this will stir controversy because niggas still don't know the symbolism. When all they're literally telling you, they're basically telling you, when I throw this shit up, every time you see somebody throw this shit up, they're telling you, my all-seeing eye sees all of your all-seeing eyes as well. They see you before you see them. And when you see them, they already seen you see them. They know who you are. They are neuroscientists. That's why you have to be the observer of your reality. If not, they will snatch it right from you. What God are we talking about? Because God is neither good nor bad. Their God has evil intent. The God we may worship has good intention. But the almighty observer does not have good or bad intentions. It's an observation of what it wants to feel on the inside of its subconscious self. So however they feel throwing this shit up is how they feel. Whatever they do is how they do it. Will they get current retribution? They know it. You can't come back from that. And the Almighty sees that. But they don't care. That's why the Almighty has to guide them niggas down there. This realm is not meant for you, it's meant for them. And they made you in their image. So you're praising yourself through them. When you reach your higher self, there is no such thing as celebrities because we're all known in the same exact realm. We're all famous. We're all one under the same creator. Literally. We are all one under the same creator. When you see them, you see yourself, nigga. When you see these people, you are seeing yourself in many shades, in many different fraternities, in many different sororities, and life in general. You are in the image of all things known as God. That's why God is not God, because you cannot articulate God. It's a title placed upon mockery. This shit is God. But which one are we talking about now? And what eye are you seeing God through? When God sees through your eyesight that you are seeing through this video in, or you're seeing this video in right now. Have a great day, God and Goddess.